Are you someone that has massive and many business ideas and many gifts, talents, skills, and all these different things, and you want to do everything and you want to have your hand in a lot of different things? One of the greatest disadvantages to being gifted is, and too gifted, is being able to do too much. But my grandfather asked me a question a long time ago. He said, there's a difference between being good at something and being great at something. Whenever you think of some of the greatest people in history, they're known for one thing. They're known for, if you know LeBron James, if you know Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, all these people, no matter if they try to put their hands in different industries or different fields, the dominant way people relate to them is by the thing that they are great at. And it doesn't matter how good your gifts and your talents are, your greatness is the thing that people will make you known for. All right. And that's the thing that you will also be known for. And so in this video, I want to show you how to hone in on the very thing that is going to move the needle for you for good. Ask yourself this question. Am I Do I have too many ideas, or have I not had enough success in the one that makes the most sense? A lot of people have a lot of ideas, a lot of things, and they want to do so many different things, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. However, there's something that happens when there is a resolve within yourself about one thing. I know that I'm good at something. I know that I'm good at writing. I'm good at, you know, speaking. I'm good at these different things. But what is the thing that is going to make me great? What is my the segue into my greatness? What is the one thing? And this will help you in your business and in your financial development, because I realize that when I've tried to do too many things at the same time, then I ultimately limited myself initially. I was listening to Alex Hermosi, and he was speaking to one of his, I don't remember who it was. It may have been a either a partner or someone that he was going to invest in, whatever. I don't remember who it was. Anyway, this person had multiple businesses. One did 3 million, one did 2 million, other did 5 million, and he asked Alex, how can I scale? He said, well, what is your business? He said, I have this, this, and this. And and I may be messing up the story, I may be, but this is what I remember in my brain. But he said to him, he said, well, you need to get rid of one or get rid of two of them and focus on one. And initially I said, well, that doesn't make sense, because if he's making money, it it just makes more sense to keep all of them. But Alex said something that was so profound. He said, if you focus on one thing, you eliminate all of the opportunities that will come, and you also eliminate limitation to you. Wait a minute now. I'm eliminating limitations. How am I eliminating limitations? By not focusing on three things, because your brain can't. Your brain cannot hyper focus on 50 different things, which is why I do not subscribe to the mentality or the pattern of thought that says multitasking exists. There is no such thing as multitasking. Even when you are reading, or um what's the word I want to use? Even when you are in three different industries, or you're good at three different things, it's going to be extremely hard to be great in all three. There will always be something that will lack when you try to multitask. It doesn't matter what people tell you, you are not a good multitasker. You're horrible at it, actually, because your brain doesn't have the capacity to focus on multiple different things at the same time. This is why most people and a lot of people struggle with anxiety because they're trying to be too many things to different people, and and they struggle in doing so because they want to be everything to all things and all people. It just doesn't work. I can't be my wife's pastor. It doesn't work. I also cannot be married to another being. It's impossible. I cannot be a the business owner when I'm having a conversation with my wife, unless we are directly focusing on business. Because if I um am trying to be too many things, my brain will literally be blank, and I will ultimately be nothing to all of them. And a lot of you have taken on the mindset that says, "Hey, I can do everything." Not right now. You cannot be everything. You cannot. Yeah, you want real estate. You want to have a business in a different industry. Yeah, you want to do. But what do you do when you're only assigned to one specific industry? How does multiple streams of income make sense if I'm only focusing on one industry? Well, multiple streams of income does not mean that you're having multiple industries. I want you to understand that. Just because you have multiple streams of income does not mean that you're going to be in multiple different industries. And in the same breath, multiple streams of income is not a way into wealth. If you listen to anyone who's successful, and I've asked, you have multiple streams of income? They said, yes, now I do, but I didn't always because I wanted to make sure that I focused on the one thing. And a lot of our, like, my generation of people were told you need multiple streams of income. Every millionaire has seven streams of income. But what does that stream look like? Does a stream mean a different industry, or does a stream mean I have a different way of making money in the same? Because it is possible to make a lot of money in one industry and that be your main industry. Let's think about it like this: a bank. Banks don't have money unless they have yours. When a bank has your money in the bank, they take the money. That's why they sell you CDs, which are certificate of deposit. They sell you these CDs and give you a small portion of interest, but they are collecting massive percents of interest on the money that you put into the bank and has locked it, because they understand and know that I can guarantee them a portion of the interest, but I'm going to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times that interest that they're making. So it looks like this: you put $10,000 in, that $10,000 goes to a secured credit card, an unsecured credit card, a mortgage. It goes towards a car loan. It goes towards another car loan. It can go. And so now all these different interest rates add up. So now I'm making 26% interest per month. And that's greater than any other interest rate that I can get outside of that now. And so I need to now figure out within my business or within my industry, how can I make the most of what I've been given in order to be at the highest point? Because I don't want to be a good or just good. I want to be excellent. I want to be great. I want to be at the top of my industry. And a lot of you have settled for good because your eyes are too focused on other different things. instead of focusing on how to become great. Because when you learn how to become great, then your focus is concentrated on one specific thing. Imagine like this: you're at the top of your industry. You're at the top of the financial industry. You're at the top of the scientific industry. You're at the top of the business industry. You're at the top of the real estate industry. You're at the top, and that is your domain. Let me show it to you. Right? I have a financial company, and the company, we our first stream of income is tax planning. Once we go from tax planning, we then go into tax preparation, which is another stream of income. We then go into um, accounting or bookkeeping. We then go in from there to business strategy, business planning, coaching. We do that, and we do courses and financial literacy. Then we have conferences and masterminds, and then we also have um, me speaking and going into different places and speaking. I have books. One day we'll have merch. 9 different streams, one industry. So instead of trying to be a mogul or serial entrepreneur, ask yourself, how do I maximize the one thing that I have and make it full? Because it's not enough to be good, you need to be great. And shiny object syndrome is the reason why you and other people won't be great. It's not that you can't be great, it's the fact that you won't because your focus is on different things. Focus is great, but concentration is even greater because concentration is sustained focus. And when I'm focusing on something, I'm distracted by the one thing. When I'm concentrating on something, I'm sustained in the focus on the very thing that I'm focused on. And so there are people whose focuses are distracted by everything else because they are not, or they believe that if this doesn't work, then I have to have a plan B. No, you need to defund your plan B because your plan B is the reason why your plan A isn't successful because you believe that there is no greatness in that space. So we've been given an ideology of multiple streams of income that's not practical for us until we've reached. Imagine, right? Imagine one industry, multi-million dollar industry. There is power in one. There's power in one. There's not only power, there comes dominion in the one thing. Dominion or domination in your industry looks like mastering the space of one and then putting the space of one or putting that one thing in different parts of the world. So at some point maybe, right, I could enter into um international accounting or international taxes or whatever that may look like in order to have dominion over that space. See, what I want you to not make the mistake of, and this is something that the mistake that I made, I don't want you to believe that if you don't have multiple streams of income that you're not successful. Because the reality is the ideology of multiple streams is not the streams of income, it's the industries of income. You doing too much. And that's why it's not working. You're too focused on everything else, and that's why it's not working. You're overwhelmed because you're doing too much. Someone asked me a question a while ago. They said, "How do you remain calm and at peace?" I said something very simple to them. I mastered my own domain. I focus on what I'm supposed to and let everything else figure itself out. I am only responsible for what I have been given. And my responsibility in what I've been given is to make the most of what I've been given. And the way I do that is through multiplying it. And the danger of being good is you won't be a master. And the purpose of mastery is the result thereof, which is dominion, which is domination, which is controlling over a space. And so now you get people that will come to you and ask you for your advice, your counsel, your wisdom, your knowledge, your direction, what you think we should do here. And then you require a fee for what you speak, because what you've done or what you do actually works. And this is what Solomon in the Bible, this is what he did. And this is why his business model was so successful. He literally received wisdom and began to create content on his wisdom. His content was songs and proverbs and lessons, 3,000 of them. And he hyper focused on that one thing to a point to where he became known in that space. And people, other kings first, came and said, "Hey, can you teach me what you do? Can you show me what you do?" Why? Because the wisdom that he carried came through not just his experience, but what he was able to master. And then he taught their people. And then he taught other people how to do what he did. And then it was just a system whereby he became a billionaire into in what we would deem as a billionaire today in those times. So I want you to see how, if you just apply the simplistic principles of Solomon, how easy it will be for you to dominate in any space of your life. I'm gonna take you on a journey in these next um lessons or teachings or whatever you want to call these YouTubes. And I'm gonna show you why it's important for you to focus on one thing. Back when I was younger, and I'm not that old, but for context sake, they used to say you can't walk and chew gum. And so I said, yes, I can. I was walking and chewing gum. But then I was like, why do I need to prove that I can do two things at the same time? What does it do for you? And what does it do for me? What it's doing for me is making me hyper focused on too many things at the same time, and I'm becoming anxious. I'm becoming overwhelmed. You know why you keep starting and stopping your business? Because you struggle with object syndrome. Shiny object syndrome is keeping you from focusing on the business that you're supposed to start and do and multiply and grow and put in different places. You're looking at the woman with the red dress in a crowd full of people who look normal. And you're saying, "Oh, I need to do that." No, you shouldn't. Nobody told you to do that. And it's easy to and like I'm saying, this is something that I struggle with as well. I would be starting and I would be building something, and then all of a sudden, boom, something comes into my space that looks better because it looks more successful. It looks like it has more profits or those different types of things. And instead of just honing in on what I knew I was supposed to do, You're in delay and you're behind not because of anything else, but your indecisiveness. When you're not decided on the business and you decide the outcome of the business before you see the outcome in reality, whenever you're indecisive, you always end up broke. There is no person that is consistent that can be broke because consistency builds discipline. Discipline builds endurance. Endurance builds character. Character builds greatness. Greatness builds domination. But you cannot be a master or a dominator if you are unwilling to focus on one thing. So ask yourself the question, am I not successful because I have my hands in too many pots? And if the answer is yes, fix it. And the way we fix it is by deciding. It means I'm cutting off every other option. And you may be saying, well, that was that. Why would you tell me to fix it? Because you need to. I needed to. I was trying to be all these different things, have all these different businesses, got all these different LLCs, but all these different things. And it made no sense in the grand scheme of things. And when you focus on one thing, one business idea, one audience, one marketing platform, one price, one system, it gives you a better idea of where you need to pivot into or what you need to do differently. Most people don't give themselves enough times to fail before they go into something new. And failure is not a indictment against your identity. Failure reveals that there is a learning curve that you need to correct. Failure is your opportunity at doing it differently, not that you're a failure. It failed, not me. I'm not a failure. And when you take the time to invest in your own growth and development, you see if I remain consistent on the one thing, then I will be able to maximize the thing. And then if I so choose to, I'll go into different industries. I'll go and buy other different businesses. But my main source is the industry that I'm in. And I'm not pivoting from that unless I need to. So the question you want to ask yourself, the other question that you want to ask yourself, can I remain consistent even when no one else is? When no one's watching me, am I willing to do what it takes to become the person and get the results that I desire in my lifetime? Who are you when no one's watching? Who do you want people to see you as? But before you want people to see you, who do you see yourself as? Because the reason why things in your life are not panning out to what you think that they should is because you have not made a decision yet. So from today, what are you choosing to focus on? And whatever you choose to focus on is going to be the thing that drives the results that you either desire or you don't desire. My name is JaQuan Gamble. I hope this helped you realize that there's power in one. Peace.